Hey everybody, it's Lemonette again. When I first started making videos, I made a list of 50 things to tell you about me. And of course I only got through 10 in the first video. And then I really looked at the other 40 and I thought, maybe not. Maybe that's just information that I should keep to myself, or at least until a later date. I did find a few that I could salvage. The one I want to talk to you about today, the reason I picked this one is because I just had an incident last night that brought it back to mind. And that's the fact that I am a human can opener. I don't know if you've ever met one of us before. You probably have. You may be one. But let me explain to you what I mean by human can opener. I had a friend tell me that one time, and it's always stuck because he was so right on. A human can opener can't go anywhere without learning the details of somebody's life, even somebody that they don't want to know the details about. I think the day he told me that, I had gone into a liquor store to buy some liquor. We were going to a party or something, and I was with my best friend. And when I came back out with the bottle of liquor, I had found out the lady that worked at the liquor store had recently had her gallbladder out. I heard all her complications. Also, her daughter had had some recent surgery, and this was because when her daughter was younger, she had had an abortion, and she had had some complications for that and had to get some girly type surgery later on in life as a result of that. I still to this day don't know the woman's name, but I know those details about her. I think it's a mixture of there are people who don't mind telling everything about their lives, and then there are people like me who just look like they would listen and not put you down for whatever you say. Which is true, because I'm not going to put somebody down because of something that's going on in their life. I would never make fun of anybody, or I would never have the nerve to tell them that they were full of it, really, because who am I to say they are? So I guess in that respect, I'm just somebody that must look like I'm easy to talk to. I don't know, you tell me. But please don't tell me about your gallbladder and your children's surgeries and stuff. But the reason I thought about this was because I went last night. I live in Georgia, and as you can probably tell from the accent, and my husband and I wanted Waffle House breakfast. So when I left work, I stopped at the Waffle House near our home, and I went in and I placed my order, and this was about 6:30 p.m. So you'd think the Waffle House at 6:30 p.m. that there's not going to be, a lot of, well, let me put it this way. It won't be the same clientele that would be there at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is normally when people that I hang out with normally want to go to the Waffle House. At any rate, it was not busy. There were only a few people in there. So I placed my order and I sat at the bar and I was waiting for our breakfast to be cooked. And this man came in and sat down beside me, directly beside me, and began to talk to me about his 12-year marriage. How his wife was really upset with him because when they argue, he always brings up things that hurt her feelings. And he thought that's what you were supposed to do when you argue, because everybody does that. You always say the thing that's going to hurt the person that you're fighting with. And he couldn't understand why she was so upset. But now she said she didn't want to be married to him anymore. So now he really knows that he hurt her, and so now he really wants to do better. But she's just gone crazy and acting crazy at home. He just had to get out of there. And so he thought he'd come to the Waffle House and get him a piece of pecan pie. How did I walk in on that? I mean, do people do you this way? That's the question I want to ask tonight. Am I the only person? Or do you have any instances where somebody just told you things that you really had no business hearing and you really didn't necessarily want to hear? But of course, last night I gave him some words of encouragement and tried to tell him, that even if the marriage broke up, that, life would go on and he would be okay. And if they were really meant to be together, that they would stay together. And that oftentimes people tell somebody that the reason they want to leave them is something that they've done to hurt them, when really they just want to leave them. But they don't want it to be on their own head. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds to me like this woman wants to leave, wants to get out, and wants to sow some wild oats, but she's just wanting to put it all on him. People really have trouble accepting their own guilt sometimes. I guess I do too, but it just seems like people more and more will do anything, will say anything and do anything to make all the guilt fall on somebody else. How did I get on this subject of guilt? Anyway, tell me, comment, and send me messages and comments and video responses, and tell me some things in your life that people have told you. Or maybe I'm just the only one, and in that case, tell me that too. I love all you guys.